Welcome to Aging in Place Strategies and Answers with Linda Prio. Will it be possible to remain in my home as I age? Do I feel safe in my home? How do I figure out how much support I will need when my health needs start to change? What if I decide to move into a community instead? Which community will meet my needs now and in the future? Who will play a role in helping me with decision making? Do you ask yourself these same questions? Aging in Place Strategies and Answers can help you gain practical knowledge that will help you create your own Aging in Place roadmap. If you are already a care partner, a power of attorney, or in crisis mode with your Aging in Place strategy, you will learn what you need to know that you don't know. For over 20 years, I have been marketing Aging in Place services to clients and educating families and healthcare professionals in how to put aging in place strategies into place. When you utilize aging in place, you are allowed to choose where you want to live and make those decisions so that you can retain your quality of life. Hello, listeners. As promised in a previous podcast, I'm going to be doing a quick overview of Jessica Miglala's article in the April-May 2026 AARP magazine, which if you're a regular listener, I actually read cover to cover, and then I go back to the articles I like best. But in this particular edition, the How Old Are You Really article caught my attention. And Jessica summarizes the study of 2,000 people with the average age of 70 that was done by the Institute for Successful Longevity at Florida State University. Now, the Institute for Successful Longevity conducts research into how to live longer, stay active, and be fully engaged in life. This institute takes a multidisciplinary approach to better explore the complexities of life as an older individual. Over the last century, Americans have witnessed tremendous gains in longevity, but successful longevity is more than living to a great old age. It is about living well as we grow older. And living well means many things, and they are especially unique to you. But the researchers in many fields across the Florida State University campus look at health, cognition, recreation, mobility, financial security, and other concerns. And in the past, aging was seen as a problem, as a condition or a malady, or, well, you're getting older, you need to expect that. But at Florida State University's Institute for Successful Longevity, they see aging as a natural stage of life, and their researchers look at all the components of an older person's experience as they pursue the causes of age-related cognitive and physical decline. And then they translate those discoveries into practices and interventions that slow or halt these changes. So Jessica, in the AARP magazine article, How Old Are You Really? The study showed that your biological age might be a better predictor than your actual age, your chronological age. So let's see what this article will tell us, and let's see what actions you and I can take as a result of gaining this knowledge. I am pretty confident that all of us have heard, even maybe from our physicians, that small changes can yield big results. And this article that I read is full of ways that you and I can make small changes that will decrease, we'll get an overall sense that our chronological age is decreased because we're doing the right things, and that in turn makes our biological age show that we are not as old as we really are. And that's what you and I are after, aren't we? And just to clarify so that we're all on the same page again, your biological age and my biological age is the age of our body systems, our organs, and our cells. The study found that if you have a higher biological age, in other words, your body systems, your organs and cells show a higher biological age, it can correlate with an elevated risk of mortality. So obviously that's a logical conclusion that if you are 70, but as we look at these 6 items that this article identifies and the study proved, that some of these items can make you older or younger. And that's because of who we are and maybe how we're wired, and also what choices we are making as we age. So the first question that the article poses is, how would you describe your usual walking pace? And I think that before we can begin to answer that particular question, you and I have to ask another question. And that is a very simple one. And it says, the question is, are you walking? So I'll let you answer that. Are you walking? Yes or no? How often are you walking? And at what pace are you walking? And all the research tells us that a walk is still the best exercise you can get. So don't feel like you have to be crunching it at the gym. Don't feel like you need to be running marathons. Don't feel like you have to be putting your aging body at risk if a simple walk can give you the health benefit that you need. So if you're already walking, if you said, check, I'm already walking, the question is, do you walk slow? Do you walk steady, or do you walk briskly? And the study showed that brisk walking produced a life expectancy of at least 86 and 85 years old. You know, interestingly enough, that the study confirmed that walking is really just a powerful predictor of good future health and can help you stay mobile. Walking also preserves your overall health and ability to maintain your independence as you age. But the question then becomes, well, how long should I walk? Do I have to walk an hour? Do I have to walk 4 miles? What do I have to do here? And interestingly enough, a brisk 10-minute walk is all it takes. So if you're able to incorporate walking into one of the tiny habits that you have to improve your health, walk briskly, walk for 10 minutes, and then you get to subtract 14 years from your life, from your chronological age, not from your life, not true, from your chronological age. The second question posed in the article is, how many grams of added sugar from packaged foods do you eat in a typical day? And I can't answer that question for you. I can only answer it for me. But before we move forward, some of you might say, well, how do I know where to find that information? Or how will sugar be listed, and how will I know, and all of that. So I'm here to help you out, folks. That was the question. How many grams of added sugar from packaged foods do you eat in a typical day? And you can look at the nutritional label on all your foods that are prepackaged. An apple does not have a nutritional label on it because it's a whole food and it's a natural food and it has natural sugars. So the article is suggesting that you be aware of any extra sugar you consume, like candy, mints, sweet tea, sweetened coffees, and that you keep that less than 48 grams. And if you're able to do that, you can subtract 0.2 years from your chronological age. And again, this is not talking about naturally occurring sugar in foods like fruits or dairy, but added sugar. And it's important that you and I learn the names for sugar because they appear in products in very different forms. So if you pick up a packaged food, let's say you pick up a package of cookies and they say all natural. It could be sugar, it could be cane sugar, it could be molasses, it could be corn syrup, or it could be additives. And I say additives in the way that it is supposed to be said because these are additives. They're manufactured like sucrose, dextrose, and fructose. So if consuming 48 grams of sugar per day aligns perfectly with the standard recommended upper limit for sugar, but keep in mind that the average person consumes a much higher amount. Did you know that 48 grams of sugar is about 12 teaspoons? So if you could imagine yourself consuming 12 teaspoons of sugar, that's what 48 grams is. And so I'm kind of having a reaction to that. I just didn't think about it in those terms. And I know that there's a correlation between too much sugar being consumed and how it can affect our blood sugars. And when our blood sugars go up, that can lead to weight gain. That can also lead to diabetes. So limiting sugar is a huge boost in your cell protection. Too much sugar damages your DNA. It causes inflammation, such as we see in arthritis, and cancer also feeds on sugar. So the question they ask is, how many grams of added sugar from packaged foods do you eat in a typical day? And looking at that number, you can find those labels, and then you can determine your own answer to that question. Just something to be aware of. Tiny steps make, it can really make a big improvement. I'm going to pause here and have a word from our sponsor.
At Family Partners Home, we help residents maintain dignity while promoting well-being. Residents receive 24/7 supervision and care in a home-like setting in assisted living homes that are located in residential neighborhoods. Each home is a single-family home designed and built specifically for those with dementia. For more information about Family Partners Home, 314-686-4468, online at familypartnershome.com. It feels like home. It is a home.
Thank you to Family Partners Home for being one of our sponsors. And if you would like to become a sponsor, please reach out to me at linda.agingstrategies@gmail.com. Let's move on to item number 4, the third question that was part of this article on how to reduce our chronological age by making wise choices. And the one we are going to be talking about next is how much fiber do you eat per day. And if you are able to increase your fiber, you can actually deduct 4 years off your chronological age. But what is fiber? Not all of us know what that is or how to get it and the benefits of fiber. Soluble fiber. It forms a gel which helps lower blood sugar and cholesterol levels. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water, but it helps move food through your gut. And fiber in your diet, either soluble or insoluble, can help with better digestion. It can prevent hard stools and it helps stop constipation. It helps your heart health by lowering bad cholesterol, the LDLs, and it helps the way your body processes sugar. It slows down how fast your body absorbs sugar. Having the right amount of fiber in your diet can also help you feel full longer, so you're less likely to reach out for more food, so it benefits your weight control. It also helps with inflammation and oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a harmful imbalance between unstable molecules called free radicals and the body's ability to fight off disease and cancers and other chronic conditions. And oxidative stress can lead to cellular and DNA damage. So we definitely want fiber in our diet so it can help us even fight the enemy of cognitive decline. And the good food sources for fiber are found in fruits and vegetables like apples, carrots, broccoli, and berries. Also, whole grains like oats and barley and whole wheat bread, plus beans and nuts like lentils, peas, black beans, and almonds. According to the article, women should consume 22 grams of fiber and men 28 grams of fiber. Good dietary fiber can add years to your life by simply increasing it. Now, no one wants healthy eating to be complicated, and it really isn't. And I'm going to give you one simple step. Shop the perimeter of the store. What that means is you're shopping the outside areas of the store where whole foods tend to exist. So I think about my grocery store, and the first section I go into is all the fruits and vegetables. And then I can easily pass by the bakery section and then move on to the meat section, the cheese section, the milk section, the yogurt section, and then move outside the store. So you don't have to shop the whole store, but if you do, and you have items that you love to eat or you love to buy, please check the food labels. Look for sugar, look for fiber. And if you don't recognize an ingredient in that product, it's okay to put it back. That would be an additive. My simple philosophy is if I don't buy it, I won't have it around to eat it. And if I make that habit, I usually, even when I enter a restaurant, have gotten so used to not ordering bad things, I don't even think about it anymore. And I'll give you a quick example of that. I was outside one of my favorite coffee shops, and I thought when I go in, I'm going to order my favorite coffee. And my favorite coffee has a lot of extra ingredients in it. And I was going to treat myself that day. But I was so used to just ordering a plain coffee that when I walked up to the counter, that's what came out of my mouth. And I was shocked at myself, but I had created a new habit and I didn't even realize it. So you can be successful. And of course, obviously, I am just imparting information, but these are things that I have heard from others that really work. And some of those people have been professionals, and then I've tried it myself. So just a couple of tips. We are going to stop here for a word from one of our sponsors.
Do you want assisted living services but don't want to leave your home? Call Continuum at 314-863-9912. Our professional team has 20 plus years of experience and will help you create the perfect care solution that meets your current and future needs. Continuum supports independence at every stage of life. Call 314-863-9912 for a free consultation or visit us at continuumcare.com.
Listeners, we have some more to learn about how we can reduce our chronological age by employing really good benefits to our health. And that's what we have been talking about. So the next one that the Florida State University Institute of Successful Aging has identified is your stress level. Now, we cannot avoid stress. Okay, so it's just a part of life, but it is important to know that we are stressed, and it is important to know that we don't have to live like that and that there is help available. And this is when seeking professional consultations and guidance is so beneficial. But when you have trauma, stress, or post-traumatic stress disorder, they can affect your health and speed up your biological aging. So managing this part of your life is very helpful. And when you do, you're able to take 0.2 years off your chronological age. Stress of all forms causes us to reach for fixes. Sometimes we choose the wrong foods. Sometimes we're unable to sleep. Sometimes we're unable to focus and to work. Sometimes we look to alcohol and other drugs. And sometimes it prevents us from connecting socially. And connecting socially and staying active in volunteer organizations, our hobbies, or things we enjoy can really affect our health. So if you have been able to create a healthy lifestyle, even though you're going through a period of stress or have post-traumatic stress disorder in your life or have been through a trauma, these healthy habits can help us deal with stress. But if you feel that your difficulties are piling up, and if you feel that things have not been going your way for a while, if you are questioning your ability to handle your personal issues or that you have simply lost control over your life, they are some signs that getting help or having someone to talk to could be a game changer. Check your insurance. Most insurances cover mental health visits, and many churches have recovery programs. Hospice companies offer grief support. Gone are the days that we need to think that we just need to suck it up or we just need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We don't even have bootstraps in today's. We don't even understand what that really means when we say that. But you can also get help virtually and confide in a respected third party who has objectivity and can connect with you with appropriate local resources. You may be able to look online for a Better Health app. Many times when we're watching programs, advertisements will come up for agency businesses like this that are virtual. So I just challenge you in this area to not do it alone, just like I do when people have dementia. I said, please, if you are caregivers for somebody who has cognitive decline, please don't do dementia alone. It will take you down fast. Locally, many of us have senior centers, and they employ social workers who also can guide you to appropriate resources. Now, being able to be honest and share with a professional is always being honest with yourself, the first step, and then looking for help. This can be the second step, but this can affect your overall health. So, question number 5 that this article poses to us is, do you have prediabetes or diabetes of any kind? And what that means, do you have type 1 or do you have type 2? And if you have diabetes in any form, controlling it is very important, as you know, because it does add, it really does affect your biological systems, and it really causes you to be older than you are chronologically. Type 1 diabetes adds 16 years to your life age, and type 2 adds 12 years to your life age. And in a previous podcast, I mentioned that an honest evaluation of your health can be as important as a financial checkup or making a visit to your lawyer. My question to you is, would it be worth it to start making small lifestyle changes if it meant that you didn't have to take medicine or you actually felt better? And that finding a nutritionist that can help you find the right calorie intake, sugar, and fiber could or might make a difference in your life so that you can feel your best and look your best. I'm going to challenge my listeners. Sometimes we feel like we give up so much when we stay out of the center of the store that has packaged foods, the center of the store that has heavily sweetened cereals, cookies, chips, all kinds of fun foods for us to eat. And believe me, I love them as well. But we have all been complaining about the cost of food. And so, listeners, I'm going to challenge you to find out what a pound of apples costs and find out what a bag of chips that's a pound of chips costs, and then compare those and then compare the nutritional value. And I think you're going to find that whole foods are actually cheaper than junk food. Now, the next question kind of goes back to our mental health as well. Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of person? And if you said that you're a glass half full or half empty person, you're going to deduct you're going to add 4 years to your chronological age, but you can deduct 4 years from your age, because while being optimistic is not denying that bad things happen, it is deciding which items to be concerned about. Have you ever heard the phrase, I'm sure you use this with your teenagers, or you were advised to use this with your teenagers, and sometimes we do it at work and sometimes we do it in social situations, is choose your battles. Choose what you're going to decide to be really upset about. But our brains have a negative bias, and that's the way we've been wired as humans. It served to be a protection for us, especially when a car is coming at us. If there was a child in the middle of the street, we would have that knowledge that that child could be hurt, and we would be yelling, car, or get out of the middle of the street, or freeze. And that way we're protecting the people we love, or even innocents, from something that could come in their direction and hurt them. But if we allow that negative bias and those first thoughts that we have take over, that gets us out of control and can shorten our lives. And you can rewire your brain with a tiny habit. And it's as simple as this. When I think a negative thought, I will recognize that it is a negative thought. I am not in danger, and I can tell that thought to go away. Then tell yourself something good. I am going to make today a great day. I'm going to go to the grocery store and say hello to someone and thank them for bagging my groceries. There are easy ways to get the negativity and the negative thoughts away, but you have to recognize it first and then determine what your next step will be. That's on you, and that's on me. Now, if you would like more information on how to start tiny habits, you're in luck. I have a friend, her name is Polly Lemire, and she is a tiny habits coach. And she and I have worked together over the last year and a half to share information on how to create tiny habits, how they work, and how to help you start small changes, really small steps in order to make big changes in your life. And you can check out her website. I'll put it in the show notes, but it's thrive-after65.com. Now, social connections also help you create new habits and new adventures. And when you hang out with negative Nellies or negative Nelsons, that can really take you down. I recently got on the library in my local area on their website and realized that they have book discussion groups. They have guest authors that are coming into the library to do talks or book signings. There are ways that you can connect with people to play games. So I'm going to challenge you to find what looks best for you. There's all kinds of volunteer organizations that are looking for people to be helpful, but maybe you just want a part-time job. Whatever it takes to get connected socially can really benefit you, and you're able to deduct your 4 years from your chronological age. At the end of every podcast, listeners, you know I'm going to give you a caregiver tip, and whether you're currently a caregiver or you may be a caregiver in the future, the reality is that taking tiny steps now to put healthy practices in place is the time. And especially now, as we cannot count on our youth to be on our side. We are definitely in a place where natural aging is going to take place. So how do you want that to look? But in order to be a good caregiver, we always say this: you must take care of yourself first. So start now, someplace small. Maybe you're just going to start with walking the perimeter of the store. Maybe that's too big of a habit for you. Maybe you're going to start by going into your favorite restaurant and ordering something healthy that has fiber, less sugar, and more natural ingredients in it. And if that doesn't fit your favorite restaurant, then maybe it's time to find a new restaurant. But there's little steps that we can take that can help us with our diet, with our exercise. They can help us track our sleep, and be aware that we're never, ever going to be able to not be in a period of stress in one form or another, that there is help out there. And even though you're going to go through that time of stress, sticking to daily habits that work is going to be how you're going to navigate through them easily, as well as seeking professional guidance and counseling. Before you leave this podcast today, friends, I hope that out of our questions 1 through 6, you found a place where you can start a new daily habit. What will it be? Listeners, do you need a speaker for your group? Or perhaps you would like to know how to access my YouTube channels? Please check out my website, seniorsupportstrategies.com. On the website, you will even find more details about how to get a personal consultation. Thanks for listening. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember that this podcast is intended as education and not advice. Don't forget to share this podcast with family, friends, or colleagues who want to learn how to age in place, but also share this with those who find themselves in crisis mode. Please go to my website, seniorsupportstrategies.com, for more information. When you subscribe to Aging in Place Strategies and Answers, you gain access to premium content and professional tips on creating your own Aging in Place roadmap. As always, I value the time you spend with me.